Hello there guys, welcome back to the Stamford Voice for your Chelsea versus Crystal Palace match review. At the beginning I have to say that was a disappointing result. Chelsea beginning the season with a 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace. That's frustrating. That's frustrating. Basically the attack was non-existent. Cole Palmer, everything he tried to do didn't work. Joao Pedro didn't even touch the ball. Jamie Gittens on the other side had nothing to show for all the 1v1 situations that the team put him across. The attack was so timid, man. Anyway, let us look at how the whole game unfolded, because I did a pre-match preview before this game, and I gave you more like a predicted lineup, and Maresca did exactly the same thing, except for the absence of Tosin Adrabioyo, who it is reported had a minor injury that put him off the game. So we started in goal with Robert Sanchez, and I must say Robert Sanchez today had a basically okay game. I can't say amazing game because he didn't have so much to save, but the one time he was called upon, like the 1v1 save he made against Mateta in the first half, he did really well. Apart from that, his distribution was not so good, not so bad. He was just there. Then we had Mark Kukurea on the left wing. Then Trevor Chalobah, left centre back, and Josh Achiampong, who replaced the injured Tosin Adrabioyo in the right centre back position. And obviously our right back was Reece James. And talking about Josh Achiampong, I don't think I have so much to say about him because he's a good player. We all know that. Maresca loves him. He tried, but of course you could see the roughness of the lack of experience, especially in the misplaced pass that he made direct to the Crystal Palace players that led to the free kick that was conceded by Mark Correa, as he tried to defend the shots from Crystal Palace coming off that misplaced pass. But apart from that, he did some great things, like the double tackles he did that led to Felipe Mateta getting a yellow card. I think he grew into the game. Let's say he did okay. I don't think it was overly fantastic or overly bad, but I think he had an okay game. In the midfield, we had the usual Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, and it was surprising to even see Moises Caicedo being caught off guard on possession, and that almost led to a Crystal Palace attack that could be deadly. By the way, we have to give credit to Crystal Palace because the attack today was potent. I must say the attack was more potent than Chelsea. I don't understand with the players that we have brought in. It's so frustrating to see Crystal Palace having a better attack than Chelsea. We have Joao Pedro who was in the game, and Joao Pedro has been in very, very good form. I remember mentioning that he scored 3 goals in the Club World Cup, 2 in the semi-final and 1 in the final. In the last 2 preseason games against AC Milan and Bayer Leverkusen, he scored in both these games. But today he was nowhere to be found. Just to be fair, he did not get enough service, of course, for him to make something work out. But even then, he was so out of the game, man. Then we had Enzo Fernandez alongside Moises Caicedo. Again, apart from the header that he almost scored when Estevao Willian came on, he didn't do so much to help the attack. So basically, it was almost a flat game for all Chelsea players today. Now, when you talk about the attack, it was really timid. Beginning with our number 10, our ice-cold Cole Palmer. Man, Every touch, every pass, every shot was utter timid. Absolute frustration. I think I can't remember a single pass or a single shot that Cole Palmer did that was at the level of Cole Palmer, the Cole Palmer we are used to. And this is the first game of the season. I'm scared, guys. What's happening? Talk of Jamie Gittens. The team put Jamie Gittens in very many opportunities 1v1 with Crystal Palace defense, but he had nothing to show for it. No crosses, no chances created, no top five. I mean, that was a sad way to begin the season, especially coming off the back of winning a FIFA Club World Cup, especially beating PSG 3-0, the European champions. Then you come to the Premier League, the first game of the season, 0-0 against Crystal Palace. Of course, you might argue Crystal Palace are no mugs. They are a good team. They beat Liverpool in the Community Shield. They beat Manchester City in the FA Cup. But man, no. This is a game that Chelsea was supposed to win. Anyway, let us look at the events that happened during this game. Huh? I mean, the first half was quite even first half, especially for Chelsea standards. And I mean, nothing so special was happening. We were attacking, Crystal Palace were attacking, and as I mentioned in my match preview, I expected Eberechi Eze to cause us problems. I expected Jean-Philippe Mateta to cause us problems, and they actually did. You remember the saves that Robert Sanchez has made against Eberechi Eze. You remember the save that he made against Felipe Mateta in the box, and that was a fantastic save. We have to give that to Robert Sanchez. Now, in the first half, Josh Achiampong gives the wrong pass to the Crystal Palace players. What follows is Caicedo tries to save the ball and he almost saves the day, and then the ball falls again to a Crystal Palace player. Then he passes, he cuts back to the edge of the box, and Cucurella rushes to try and at least clear the ball so that at least there's no shot that we concede. But he ends up conceding a free kick, which Eberechi Eze scores. And to start off, before we go to the VAR, I mean, that wall was dreadful. I don't understand why we make a wall to defend a free kick and then we leave the space in between. I mean, what do we expect Eze to do? Because we have left the space there. Basically, he's going to pass the ball through there, and the thunderbolt that he gave Robert Sanchez, he could not save that. Let's be honest, even if it was so close to him, there's no way Robert Sanchez was going to save that. So the goal is given, and then VAR goes to have a check on the game. It turns out there is a rule that over all these years that I have watched football, to be honest, I have never heard of that rule. That when the offensive players are taking a free kick, the offensive players should be at least 1 meter away from the defensive wall made up of 3 or more players. So that's the first time I have heard of such a rule, but it saved us, and to be honest, that was really, really harsh on Crystal Palace. So basically, Chelsea would have lost this game if not through that free kick, through the efforts made by Felipe Mateta in the box, which Robert Sanchez fantastically saved. Other efforts done by Eberechi Eze that, again, even if they were not tough strikes, Robert Sanchez managed to save those ones. I mean, Chelsea, man. This is the first game of the season against Crystal Palace. This is not a top 6. This is just another good middle table team which Chelsea is not able to beat. I saw other Chelsea YouTubers shouting out for Chelsea to win the league, but bro, I think we got carried away. Let's be honest. I think we got carried away. I mean, you can argue that the way Maresca likes to play, he needs a ball-playing centre-back, which we didn't have today because Levi Colwill is our main ball-playing centre-back, was not there. The one who was supposed to replace him in Tosin Adrabio again got a minor injury and was out of the game. So you could argue Chelsea have a little bit of an excuse. But again, I think Chelsea's problem today was not really playing from the back. Our attack was tame. We could not put the ball in the back of the net. As I have mentioned, Cole Palmer had a poor game. Jamie Gittens had a poor game. Joao Pedro was not in the game. So let's talk about the substitutions that Enzo Maresca made. I mean, he brought on Estevao Willian in the 53rd or so minute, and I must say that was a very correct substitution because again, Jamie Gittens was out of the game, and in general the attack was not working. I would have expected that he would have brought in Liam Delap maybe at the 65 minute, but he waited until maybe 75 minute. I don't understand why he waited that long. But the Estevao Willian substitution was correct, and you could see he really tried to to change the game immediately. You can remember the cross he made that Enzo Fernandez tried to score from, but again it did not work out. Then later on he brought on Liam Delap. I think Liam Delap should have been brought on way earlier than he was brought on because what we saw from Joao Pedro is that he was hardly involved, and again the Crystal Palace defense was quite what do you call it? They were quite which word do you use? They muscled him out of the game. They were really physical. That's the word I was looking for. The Crystal Palace defense was quite physical that Joao Pedro was unable to quite keep up, especially with the form that he has had since the Club World Cup. He struggled there. So Joao Pedro was brought in the 70-something minutes. Again, that was the right substitution, but it was a bit late. And of course, Pedro Neto, who in the attack, I must say, he had a very good game because he tried his best. He worked so hard, but without any sort of help in attack among the other attackers, it became almost impossible for him to make an impact on his own. So Pedro Neto was moved to the left, where again I think he worked really hard for the team. So I can say Pedro Neto had an okay game. The only outfield attacking player that I can say had an okay game. So Liam Delap comes in. After that, we saw Andre Santos introduced. Andre Santos was introduced in the midfield in place of Enzo Fernandez. Again, it was a little bit frustrating going forward because he had a 1v1 chance with the goalkeeper, but he shot wide. He had another chance with a header. Tame header again. I mean, but overall, as a substitute, he had an okay game. Other than that, we saw Reece James taken off for Malo Gusto. I think that the coach was trying to perhaps change the structure of the team a little bit to try and see if we can change the game. And you could see with the substitutions that the coach made at around 80-something minutes, Chelsea were getting in the rhythm, but again now it was too late because they really could not make any impact because there was limited time, and again Crystal Palace and retreated back to their defensive shapes predominantly, which made it so difficult for any ball to get through there. So overall, same old Chelsea problems, unable to break down defenses in the Premier League. I mean, we thought after bringing in all those attacking players that we did, then Chelsea attack would be lethal, but to our surprise, same old Chelsea. Anyways, let's just say this is just the first game of the season. We have new players, we have missing centre backs, so we can only hope that in the future Chelsea is gonna do as good as is expected. Come on, you Blues. Bye.